The familiar blocky sun of Minecraft rose, painting the pixelated sky in hues of orange and pink. Steve yawned, his blocky arms stretching above his head. He was in for another day in his utterly, hilariously, ridiculously modded world. He had gone a little overboard, hadn't he? A little was an understatement, the size of the Ender Dragon himself. His starter house, a cobblestone cube he had built out of sheer desperation on day one, stood precariously on the edge of a Candyland biome. He had woken up to find his humble abode half submerged in a river of chocolate, and the surrounding landscape resembled a deranged Willy Wonka fever dream. Lollipop trees sprouted beside gumdrop bushes, and a gingerbread golem guarded a mountain of gummy bears. The sheep weren't safe from the candy shenanigans either, they were now cotton candy sheeps. He stepped outside, the normally firm blocky ground, now springy beneath his feet. He needed wood. He eyed a nearby lollipop tree, its sugary surface glistening invitingly. As he approached, a low thwomp vibrated through the ground. He looked up just in time to see a bomb, painted in cheerful polka dots, plummeting from the sky. Bomb rain, of course, Steve groaned. This particular mod was unpredictable. Sometimes the bombs were harmless, filled with celebratory confetti. Other times they exploded with the force of 1,000 creepers. He dove behind his cobblestone cube just as the polka-dotted bomb hit the ground. Instead of a fiery explosion, a geyser of frosting erupted, coating everything in a thick layer of sugary white goo. Well, that could have been worse, he muttered, picking a chunk of frosting off his diamond chest plate. Diamond, thank God, was relatively frosting resistant. His stomach rumbled. Food? He needed food. He glanced at the gingerbread golem guarding the gummy bears. He wasn't feeling brave enough to take that on yet. He decided to head into the relatively normal forest biome beyond Candyland. As he ventured deeper into the forest, the familiar sounds of Minecraft, the gentle rustling of leaves, the chirping of birds were punctuated by unsettling sploosh sounds. He knew what that meant, chaos slimes. He rounded a corner and froze. A massive, iridescent slime, easily 3 times his size, jiggled menacingly in front of him. This wasn't just any slime, it was a gift box slime. Its gelatinous body was adorned with a festive red bow. Oh, come on! Steve exclaimed. These slimes were notorious. When defeated, they exploded in a shower of random items, ranging from incredibly useful to incredibly not. One time, he had gotten a full set of diamond armor. Another time, he had gotten a single, rotten potato. He drew his diamond sword and braced himself. The gift box slime lunged, its gelatinous body slamming into him. Steve staggered back, momentarily stunned. He swung his sword, the diamond blade slicing through the slime's sugary flesh. With a final sploosh, the gift box slime exploded. Items rained down around him, iron ingots, cobblestone, a single feather, a suspicious-looking cake, and a stick of dynamite. Dynamite? Really? Steve muttered, carefully avoiding the explosive. He gathered the useful items and eyed the suspicious cake with suspicion. He had learned the hard way that anything labeled cake in this world was best approached with extreme caution. He decided to leave it. He continued his search for food, cautiously navigating the forest. The weather, as always, was being particularly erratic. One moment, the sun was shining brightly. The next, it was raining jelly beans. Ah, random storms, how I love thee, he deadpanned, dodging the falling candy. He finally managed to kill a pig, a normal, non-candy pig, thank goodness, and gathered some wood. He was about to head back to his frosted house when he heard it, a deep, rumbling groan. The ground beneath him shook. He looked up and saw a fissure tearing through the earth, spewing smoke and embers. He was standing on the edge of Volatile Lands. Just my luck, he sighed. Volatile Lands was a biome of constant geological upheaval. The ground shifted and buckled, volcanoes erupted without warning, and the air was thick with poisonous fumes. It was not a place for the faint of heart. He decided to steer clear and headed back towards his house, only to stop dead in his tracks. His house was gone. Well, not gone, exactly. It was just different. A new bomb, definitely more potent than the frosting one, had landed right next to his house and turned the surrounding area into a desert. It was still there, but now his house was now a sandstone cube surrounded by endless dunes. Okay, that's it, Steve said, frustration finally bubbling over. I can't take this anymore. This is madness. He stared at the endless desert, dotted with the occasional cactus, made of licorice, and felt a strange mixture of despair and amusement. He had created this monster. He had unleashed this chaotic symphony of mods upon the unsuspecting world of Minecraft. But he wasn't going to let it defeat him. He was Steve, and he was a survivor. He had faced creepers, Endermen, and the Ender Dragon himself. He could handle a little bit of utter chaos. He took a deep breath and surveyed his surroundings. He needed a plan. He needed a new house, a source of food, and a way to deal with the constant barrage of random events. The first thing he needed was water. And lucky for him, right beyond the licorice desert was Candyland, with its chocolate river. He carefully scooped up some chocolate in a bucket and placed it on his crafting table. After a moment, the chocolate transformed into water, still retaining the bitter-sweet smell. He might not be able to drink it, but he could use it to grow some crops. Steve planted seeds in the desert sand, irrigating them with his chocolate-infused water. He then went to the forest where, lo and behold, another gift box slime awaited him. This time, it dropped a composter. Steve placed it near his farm and began producing bone meal. With his food supply secured, he turned his attention to shelter. He didn't want to rebuild his cobblestone cube, not in this wasteland, not after what had happened. He decided to build something more resilient. He started gathering sand, slowly but surely, and began crafting sandstone blocks. He envisioned a towering pyramid, a monument to his resilience in the face of utter chaos. It would be impregnable, resistant to bomb rain, and a beacon of hope in this crazy, candy-coated world. As he built, the sun began to set, casting long shadows across the desert. The random storms continued to rage, sometimes bringing rain, sometimes bringing swarms of angry bees, another delightful addition from one of his many mods. But Steve persevered. He placed block after block, driven by a stubborn refusal to give up. The chaos slime still splooshed, the volatile land still rumbled, and the bomb rain still fell. But Steve kept building. He didn't just survive. He adapted. By the time the blocky sun peeked over the horizon once more, his pyramid was half-finished, a testament to his tenacity. It wasn't perfect. It was a little crooked, a little rough around the edges. But it was his. As he surveyed his creation, a smile crept across his blocky face. He was still alive. He was still building. He was still playing. And despite all the chaos, despite all the ridiculousness, he was actually having fun. The world was a ridiculous, unpredictable, candy-coated nightmare. But it was his ridiculous, unpredictable, candy-coated nightmare. And he was going to make the most of it. A new bomb, this one shaped like a giant gummy bear, whizzed past his head and exploded in a shower of confetti. Steve chuckled. "Bring it on," he said to the pixelated sky. "Let's see what kind of crazy you've got for me today." He pulled out his diamond sword, grabbed a handful of suspicious-looking cake. He was feeling brave, and prepared to face another day in his gloriously, hilariously, unbelievably modded Minecraft world. The adventure had only just begun.